Okay, ladies and gents, welcome along to round 4 of FTRL. We're here at Silverstone today for the British Grand Prix, live for Division 1. We're at round 4 of the championship now, so the tables are starting to take shape, and it's this man that we're currently on board with, Car World, who leads the championship table after his excellent performance in Russia last week. Joining me in the commentary box tonight, I have my good friend and long-term colleague, Pagani. Welcome along, mate.
Cheers, it's a pleasure to be here.
Should be a good one tonight, mate.
I think there's a few out there that want to show what they can do.
Yeah. I think there's a few out there that need to show what they can do, to be honest. Just a couple of things to inform the viewers on. We've got a couple of reserve drivers in tonight in the form of Matt Cors and Matty Suddens from Division 2. We have a new driver, AMK, who was a reserve driver as of today, and he is now a permanent Division 2 driver. And the reason for that is because Jake 26, who is in the Mercedes with Lennon, has stepped down from his seat for the remainder of the season due to other commitments, which is unfortunate. So the admins and I obviously went into discussion about this, and we approached Mark NUFC from Division 2, and he is now a Division 1 driver for the remainder of the season. So he's going to take the seat with Lennon at Mercedes. So that's forming a very, very strong team, and AMK is going to replace him at Williams. So hopefully that's cleared things up. We do have a couple of absentees tonight, which is obviously why we've got the reserve drivers in. But we're looking forward to a good race. Matty Suddens has gone quickest so far, 1:28.5, and Carwell's just crossed the line, but I think he invalidated his lap. Okay, so what's your thoughts ahead of the race tonight, Pagani, mate?
Well, I've actually spotted something very strange. Henry is out on track and there's still 7 minutes to go.
Wow, that's weird.
I've only ever seen him do one flying lap. So, I think...
Yeah, that's a worry.
Paul, I think Bad Boy is on a hot streak at the moment. He's already got 2 poles, so...
Yeah, that's a very good point. It is a good point. I mean, I'm quite surprised with well, Chargers set a really good time, especially for a first run, but 1:28 flat. It's only 4 tenths really slower than what Paul was for Division 2 last night, and he did that on his first run. So I expect these guys to get towards the low 127s or mid 127s for Pole. So only Carwell and Bad Boy yet to set a time. Whopperchop's done a 1:41, so I think he's obviously pulled out of his lap there. But yeah. So you're tipping Bad Boy for Pole, are you?
I think he's very hard to look over at the moment, the form he's in. I mean, he won the last race, so...
No, it was Carwell that won the last one. Bad Boy started pole. Yeah.
I'm getting my colours mixed up.
Yeah, but they're both in the Ferrari, so that's probably where the problem was, mate. It's all right. But yeah, no, it should be a good one. I'm expecting Matty Suddens to have a good race tonight. He started off very, very well in Division 2 last night, but unfortunately, due to some lag problems, he's dropped out and had to retire from the race. But there you go, Mark NUFC's taken pole, 1:27.8. So
he's still
got 6 1 to go. Yeah, if I'm going to be honest, mate, I would probably expect him to get pole quite a lot in Division 1. That's no disrespect to any of the other guys, but I think Mark's one lap pace is probably the best in the league, I would say personally, from what I've seen so far. He got pole in every single race in Division 2, and he raced Abu Dhabi for Division 1 earlier on in the season. Yes, he retired, but he got pole in that quite comfortably as well, if I remember correctly. So yeah, should be quite an interesting one, I think.
I'd like to see Katamis do well. I mean, he finished very well last race.
Yeah.
And hopefully strategy can come into play again today.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's hope so. But I also think we shouldn't rule out the likes of George Alice, because George Alice is, I think he's third in the driver's standings, but he's not actually qualified inside the top 10 yet. So he's been getting those points from extremely deep down in the order.
It's a weird one with George Alice. Normally his one lap pace is very, very good, but he hasn't shown it this season. So
That's the problem, isn't it? That is the problem.
I mean, he's normally top 25 on time trial on most circuits, so you would think he can pull a lap out, but I mean,
Yeah.
obviously the race pace is there.
Well, yeah, exactly. So we'll have to wait and see how he gets on. But also, welcome along to everybody watching in the stream. We've got quite a few people in there at the minute, so thank you for joining us. Please feel free to share your predictions for pole and what you think the podium's going to be early on, and props for anybody that gets that right. So we're going to go to Carwell, as I believe he's the only guy out on track at the minute. Just on an out lap, but he's not set a time yet, so I'm thinking he's gonna need to push it because he needs to try and extend his gap at the top of the driver standings, because I think he's only ever won a couple of league races on F1 and one of them was last week, so he's obviously got a lot of pace, but if he wants to keep performing to the best of his ability, he's going to need to push himself.
We do have a wild onto the podium in the chat saying you're going to bottle it.
Well, unfortunately, the people like onto the podium are just these random trolls that you can't get rid of. So he's more annoying than Heat Rash. But no, it's all good. We got Trizzy in the chat saying he thinks Mark's going to win the race. So big statement from Mark needed tonight, because you've also got the likes of Miracles in there we've not seen that much of this season.
No.
Ox as well, who got a regular seat last week. I know he's quick. Fear's had a really good lap actually in P3. So, and Charge, this is his first race as a full-time driver in Division 1.
I personally think there's more to come from Lennon as well. He's not showing his best form lately, but I know it's there.
Yeah, well, he was superb in Russia.
Yeah.
So
His one lap pace on the last game was frightening,
yeah,
but this game it just hasn't seemed to have followed over.
no,
But obviously, pacing the race is pacing the race. I mean, it's where it counts, isn't it?
certainly is. I think Kyle was just invalidated his lap again because he was weaving coming out of Stowe. It went a little bit too deep and extended the track limits a bit. So I think he's invalidated again. So let's hope he can actually get a time on the board.
Just had a quick sneaky check. He has invalidated that lap, but he can set another one. He hasn't invalidated the next lap yet.
Well, he completely lifted off and he got a 1:30.0, but I mean he was practically stopped on the final corner. So I'm expecting good things out of him, but AMK has retired from P5. That's a really good showing from him actually. 1:28.3. I imagine he'll lose out a few positions. I think he'll find himself around the middle of the pack. But even the likes of Vin Blank, Lennon, Catamies, those guys, I expect them to improve drastically. Now, where is...
You would think Miracles is going to have something in the tank. He usually does, but
Yeah,
he's got to get 7/10 out of somewhere.
yeah, I know. It's a big jump, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not on board with Charge at the minute. I think he's coming round to complete his lap. He certainly is, and he goes first. 1:27.4. So that's a big chunk out, and he's got
4/10.
time to set another lap as well. I can't imagine he'll retire. Pure, oh no, he will because he's got no fuel. But that's a extremely good time. And now Mark is just starting his lap. Fear is just starting sector 2. And Ox on sector 3 come around the final corner. Okay, he hasn't improved. But he does have another lap's worth of fuel. Michael C's on an out lap apparently, or he's retired.
He is quite parked at the moment, isn't he? Or is that just my screen? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Well, onto the podium saying Mark for pole, Mark, Bad Boy and Ox for the podium, and not in that order. So we shall see. Anyway, we've got Fear coming round into the final couple of corners. I think he might be just outside that time. Yeah, he's not going to be close enough, but still a good time. Now Mark's come around to complete his lap as well.
We've got Miracles in the last corner.
Yeah.
He got second, 27.7.
Mark's just behind him. Mark's done it, 127.2, and that's only Ox left. He left it very, very late to start his lap.
We got Lennon and Napler in the last corner.
Let's see where those guys jump up to.
Lennon's
up to fourth. Napler's in fourth now. There we go. Ox coming. This is going to be pole from Ox, I think. No, it's not.
Car World is weaving down the straight, so he must have invalidated again.
Wow, he's invalidated all his laps. So Carwell starting from the back.
Starting last.
So the championship leader is starting from the back. Okay, so we've got Mark on pole on his full-time debut for Division 1, charged alongside him in second, likewise on his full-term debut. Miracles in third, Ox fourth. Got Napper and Matty Suddens on the third row of the grid. Then we've got Lennon and Fear in 7th and 8th, and George Allison AMK on his complete debut in FTRL rounded off the top 10. So the rest of the guys got Michael C, Bad Boy, Whopper Chop, Spurge, Henry, Matt Cause, Vin Blank, Academy, and Carwell starting from the back. So this could be a very, very interesting race.
So Bad Boy spun through Beckett, that's why I didn't improve.
Oh, no way. It's easy to do as well, especially when the tyres aren't particularly warm.
And Michael C's pad died through maggots. So
Oh, no way.
it's probably the worst time at the track for it to go, but
Okay, so got 15 seconds as of now before the start of the race. Before this, I believe
it's a dry start.
Yeah, dry start. It does look quite cloudy though, so we could see some rain at some point. I wouldn't put it past Britain, and I would not expect them to have 2 dry races in 2 nights. Anyway, do you want to keep an eye on the middle of the pack for me, bud?
Yeah, I can do that.
So here we go with 5 lights. Got Mark and you see on pole, charged in second. And we are lights out. Spurge has got a drive-through penalty, so not the best of starts from him. And there's a hash driver. Oh God, there's all sorts happening at the back. Mark's had a very good start. Miracles is up into second, past Charged. Charged will look around the outside. He's going to have the inside for the next corner, and he's going to get him back. I think Miracles has gone wide, so Charged is back through.
Spurge has been spun at turn 3.
And Carwell's all the way at the back. Charged and Miracles going at it already. And Ox has had a good start as well. Not too much happened in the way of position changes, maybe a couple of people. Henry's profited up 4 places, Catamaze as well. Michael C's down 5, so I'm not too sure what's happened. I think he might have had a pad problem again, possibly, because it didn't look like one of the hash drivers actually got off the line. I think his teammate smashed into the back of him.
Yeah, I don't know if it was because Spurge lifted again because he jumped the start. I'm not quite sure, but there's a sideways Williams coming out to Hanger Straight.
That is AMK, I believe, is it?
Yes, it is. He's lost half his front wing.
Oh, no
unfortunately.
Way. So not the best start for him. Finds himself down at the bottom. Carwell still in 18th. Vin Blanks stone dead last at the minute. AMK's going to need to dive into the pits. Hopefully he doesn't get a time penalty. Not a time penalty, a stop go penalty. But anyway, we're going to go on board with Henry. Oh, no we're not. Oh, what's happened to Fear? Fear spun. Just as we go on board. Hasn't lost any of his front wing, but it's going to have hampered him quite a lot. Yeah.
I did wish Fear good luck before this race, but he appears to have got my luck around turn 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fear. I apologise for that one, but
So yeah, quite an eventful start. We've got Henry's up 6, Catameter's up 7, but the top 4 have stayed as they are. Charge is pulling away from Miracles. Ox is putting Miracles under pressure. So we're going to go and find those guys now.
Matty Suddens is right behind Oxox through Maggots
Yeah.
and Beckett's. He lost out with Dirty Air though.
Napola's down only 1 place. George Alice is up 2, but he's got Lennon right behind him, and Henry's trying to have a look at Lennon now. Going down the hanger straight, they're going to go extremely close.
Oh, Henrik inside Lennon.
Is Henry going to make that stick? Ooh.
On my screen, Henry just drove through George Ellis.
Yeah, I'm not so sure what happened there. I went on board with Henry. Nothing silly here, lads, please.
I know it's early doors, but it would appear that Henry has the same sort of glitch that Ravers had in the race, where he was driving through cars.
Really? Oh dear. Yeah, possibly. I'm not too sure, but George Alice is now right behind him. Oh, Matt Cause has just hit George Alice. George Alice is getting spun left, right and centre now. But Mark and UFC is 1.6 seconds clear of Charged, who's 1.8 seconds basically ahead of Oxox, who has got past Miracles now. And Miracles is now under pressure from his mate Matty Suddens. So yeah, I think we've seen a little bit of retaliation from George Ellis on Henry, but you never know. You never know what's happening in game compared to what we can see. That's the problem.
Yeah. I've just had a quick look at tyres, and Bad Boy is actually on the softs. Oh, hang on, Miracles has spun.
Has he? Oh, no way.
At entry to pit lane.
Has he lost any of his wing? No, he hasn't. Oh, he's cutting the corners now. He's spun again. He's going to retire, I reckon. There we go. It's a shame that he's not got the motivation to pick himself up and carry on, but Miracles is the first retirement of the night. So, bit of a lost battle for those guys down towards the bottom.
Not a bad thing against Miracles, but I think once his head goes, it actually goes, so it might be better for him to retire than to retaliate against somebody else.
Yeah, very true. Well, we've had 5 people pit so far: Catamies, Matt Cause, AMK, Whopper and Vin Blank, and we've got 1 retirement of Miracles. Other than that, apart from the odd bit of shoving and elbows out, it's not been too bad. I'm on board with Napola and Bad Boy in a minute because there's a little train behind Matty Suddens, and Bad Boy looks very, very quick.
I've just seen a quick message from the Chief Steward saying he's not very happy with track limits at the moment.
Yeah, nice. Very good point. Oxox, always he lagged out. Well, that's a real shame. Yeah, Matty Sudden stretching the track limits there, but Mark NFC looks in control, so does Charged. Oxox has rejoined, but is he going to be able to hold position? That's the question. Or is he going to lose out to this little train of cars? Matty Suddens is now through. Bad Boy is now through. Napola as well. And Lennon needs to get through quickly. Yeah, Oxox has dropped down into P7. Is he back in his car yet?
I don't think so, it's still ghosted on my screen.
Maybe he's loading up the race. There we go, he's back in his car now. So he's come out just in front of Henry, and I'm talking just.
That's got to be such an annoying feeling when you work your way up to P3, lag out and you're back out to P7 through no fault of your own. Okay,
well, something's happened with Matty Suddens because he was in P3, now he's lost out to Bad Boy. And now he's just got back up past Napola into P4. We've got two of the admins going at it, Napola and Lennon. They're going to go side by side into Stowe. Oh, Matty Suddens has gone.
Oh,
God, he's completely gone. Oh dear.
I've got an error reapplication. That's good.
Have you?
Yeah, just
Oh,
as
that's a
Matty
shame.
crash.
That's right, you should have a few invites. You should be able to get back in, mate.
Yeah, I'll get back.
Oh, that's a bit of a nuisance. Anyway, so we've got Matty Suddens and Miracles, both retired now. Ox is back up into P6, but he's under some heavy pressure. Ox and Henry are now joining this little battle for P4. Vin Blank gets a time penalty for multiple warnings. But yeah, we've got a massive train for P4 now. We've got Lennon leading it with Napola just behind. Ox, Henry and George Alice. But the top three look fairly safe at the moment, to be honest. Bad Boy's had an amazing start, up 9 places, and he's on a softer compound as well. Obviously they would have been fresh tyres. Matt Cors is now retired, so the two Division 2 drivers have now retired, which is not the best in the world. Ox right on the back of Napola now. Always going to look around the outside of Napola, is he? If he can hold this, it'll be a lovely move. Oh, what a move. Absolutely lovely move by Ox.
Loading back in now, so I should
Lovely. We've just missed a fantastic move by Ox on Napola around the outside of Stowe. Catamise has lagged out, I think.
Not a place you usually overtake, but
No, it was a gorgeous move.
fair play.
This car looks so grippy as well. But yeah, we've got Carweld has got past George Alice now, so Carweld's up 11 places, so out of the blue he finds himself up into P8. This could be quite interesting. And I'll tell you what, Mark isn't really pulling away from charge that much either. 7 laps down, he's only 2 seconds clear. I know 2 seconds are 2 seconds, but even so. And in other news, Jamie Vardy has almost just scored for England.
It's only a friendly, I'm not watching it.
I know, FTRL comes first before international football. Yeah, Napola looks... I'm not too sure at the moment whether Napola doesn't look as quick as the guys around him. Well, I don't know whether Napola just isn't as quick as those around him, or those around him are driving exceptionally well. Because once they get past him, they seem to be pulling away a little bit, but he doesn't seem to be losing sight of them that much. I don't know whether those guys are just driving out their skin, I'm not too sure. But Henry's just picked up a penalty, 3 seconds.
Catamy is reporting lag in the lobby, which
Okay.
is unfortunate, but nothing we can really do at the moment.
No. Well, unfortunately, I think whoever hosts an F1 race, there seems to be a bit of lag somewhere, unfortunately. It was the same last week. Unfortunately, those things happen. But yeah, Ox has had a little wobble. So I'm not too sure what's happened there. He's still got his front wing intact, but he's lost out massively now. He finds himself under pressure now from Carweld, who's less than a second behind.
Well, hopefully if we've still got that car pace with the front wing, he'll be able to make it back.
Yeah,
You would
exactly.
think. Unless he's killed the tyres, which my tyres went on lap 8 and I found the wall on lap 9, so...
Well, Charles is bringing down that gap actually to Mark, even though it's just fractions, it's not
Got
it's not
Henry in the
rising
pits.
anymore. Henry's into the pits, is he?
Yeah, that's why George Ellis.
I imagine most guys will go for a one stop, but I thought they might have been able to make them last another lap or so. But
I think this is a lap you came in yesterday. Because I saw you go in, and then I binned it, so you obviously got it right and I got it wrong. But...
yeah, yeah, my tyres started to feel awful. Oh, in a completely unrelated FTRL topic, England have just taken the lead against Italy.
Woo! Sorry to all the Italian fans out there, but
Yeah,
it's a
Jamie
strictly
Vardy.
English commentary team. So both Henry and George Ellis have got on the medium tyre, so they're looking to go at the end.
Oh yeah, it's a good point from onto the podium. He's a bit like our version of Ted, isn't he? We should genuinely do a video once a week of onto the podium's notebook. That could be the start of something magical. That. And Connor, you're welcome. But yeah. Anyway, there's not really anything going on track, to be honest.
Mark and Charge are both pit at the same time, but Charge got a 5-second stop go for speeding in pit lane.
Yeah, that'll be added onto his time at the end, won't it?
Yeah. However, if you don't serve it, it doubles, doesn't it? So...
I don't, yeah, but I think that's only a glitch. I don't think it actually doubles. Because I've had this before. I've had these discussions many times.
Yeah, I had this exact discussion like 2 days ago and I'm still trying to figure it out. I have no idea. The things that this game does surprises a lot of people.
Yeah. Quite a large variation of tyre strategies at the moment.
Mark's got on the medium and Charge on the soft.
Well, Charles is feeling confident about his tyres. I mean, it is possible to go from supers to softs, but you just need to be extremely good with your tyres. Something which I'm not.
I was going to say, well, it's possible for some people, definitely not me. Although to be fair, I don't usually last to the first pit stop, so...
At least
my tyre wear's never really challenged.
No. Oh, we've got a yellow in sector 1. What's happened? Is that George Ellis again? It is. Is he going to retire?
I'm going to guess so, because he's just parked on the track at the moment. Oh, no. We have life.
Yeah, I don't think he's best happy. I'm not too sure what's happened, but he's had some awful luck in this race this evening.
There's been a few collisions with the rear of that Renault.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because it's bright yellow, or it attracts people, or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Not too sure, but it's a shame to see. Anyway, Mark, who is in net P1, is... Let's have a look. 21.5 seconds away from Bad Boy, so... And I think it's the longest pit stop, isn't it? At Silverstone, or one of them.
I'll wait for our resident Ted to get back to us on that one.
Yeah.
Because he's bound to know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, at the end of the race you get a 5 seconds added on, but it does say plus 10 seconds, but it is actually only 5.
Right. I'll just let the admins and stewards work that out because I'm too lazy.
Okay, right, we're going to go up to... So we're currently on board with Vinblank, who's putting pressure on Whopper Chop.
Oh, Lennon's got a front left puncture.
Is he?
Just coming through Maggots and Beckett's.
Oh, no way. Well, luckily it's not too far away from the pits. There we go, talking about those... Oh, he's very wobbly. Whoever's in third needs to be very, very careful.
It's Napoli, so you know there's not really an issue.
No. Yeah, I can see that tyre wobbling.
However, you've still got Napoli and Oxox still to pit. With Lennon getting a puncture, is it it's got to be scary for them now.
Yeah, well, I'm just watching Carwell now. He's right on the back of Ox.
Charge is catching Mark now on the softer tyre. We've also setting the fastest lap.
There we go, but unfortunately has got his 5 second stop go. Carwell now, is he going to take a look up the inside of Ox? I think he is. There's a yellow in sector 2. Oh, Ox. Ox has had a half spin. It didn't look like it was Carwell's fault there, to be honest, but Carwell
I can't
is
see
up into...
Napler and Ox making these tyres last much longer. They look like they're on ice.
No, I mean, I know George Ellis is now retired, yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, I think, I mean, I know Napler's extremely good with his tyres. I mean, that's proven evident here, and I imagine he's going to pit because his tyres do look very, very blistered. If he goes again, I'm going to be shocked. No, he's in. Does Ox follow? So the two Ferraris are currently in P1 and 2. Yeah, Ox has pitted as well. So I'm just going to keep an eye on Henry at the moment, because it was Henry who was battling with Napler. Yep.
I don't know if Michael's pads died again, but he's spinning in Maggots and Beckett's again, unfortunately.
Oh, no way.
Oh, he's just been collected by Vim Blanc.
Oh, God. Carnage. Michael C's left the session, so he's gone, so his car's going to be ghosting around. And Vim Blanc's now retired as well. God, they're dropping like flies at the moment. I don't know. I think there's a curse on Division 1. But Napler and Ox have come out in P7 and 8. Yeah, George Ellis has just said change host next time. So I think there might be some lag problems, but we will we'll certainly have a good look into it. But Lennon is right on the back of Henry now. Henry's on the mediums, Lennon's on the soft, so you imagine this will be short work.
It looks like this puncture from Lennon hasn't affected him too badly.
No, it wasn't in the worst place, to be honest. He only really had to get down hanging straight and through stone, and that was it. So,
yeah.
Wasn't too bad. And when it first goes, you don't really lose that much pace. So yeah, but this is the closest battle on track at the moment.
Katamise is pretending that he's Colin McRae at the moment. He's not actually on the track. I think he's just trying to get out of where the lead is now, but I think he might have had a spin, which is unfortunate. Katamise, the track goes left. There you go. Go that way, son. There you go. Right.
Love the encouragement, mate. Right, Carwell has pitted. So I imagine he's going to go on to... obviously going to... Oh, there's a McLaren off in the background.
It's probably Katamise just getting out of the way, I think.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
He's had a terrible race, unfortunately.
Not at the best of times, but... Mark's slowly pulling away from charge now. Slowly. And Bad Boy's making him softs last. I imagine he's going to go in at some point soon, maybe at the end of the next lap.
I mean, how long do the supers last? About 10 laps? So he might be trying to go at the supers.
Well, 10 laps from... what was I going to say was about the limit, but then obviously they qualified on them as well. So I imagine 11, 12 laps should be fine. But Bad Boy... I think he stayed out. Doesn't want to leave it too long though.
You got Lennon on the outside of Henry. He made a stick.
Lovely move.
Henry didn't go for the cutback, so...
No, it doesn't need to. Just needs to be patient. Obviously, you've still got Bad Boy that needs to pit. Although I think Bad Boy will come out in P3, to be honest, because Lennon's 17 seconds behind Charged, and Bad Boy's 16 seconds ahead of Mark.
To be honest, it's nice to see Napler back in the points again after his bad showing at the last race.
Yeah, well, he's currently second in the championship, so
Yeah, so
any points are good points.
according to Ted, the supers will last 10 laps if they're qualified on, the softs will last 16 laps, and the mediums will last 18 laps.
All right.
So thanks, Ted.
Yeah, cheers, Ted. we're like Crofty and Paul de Resta, me and you, aren't we? You're the northern one that no one can understand.
Thea's retired in the pit lane.
Oh, no way. They're down to just 12 runners, well, 11 runners now, because Michael C's not actually racing. So, I'm very disappointed, unfortunately. The Division 1 curse is back, but we've got 10 laps to go. Quite a lot of guys.
Catamounts is retired, but it was a lap down and getting out the way, so...
Yeah. So Ox is just a couple of attempts behind Carwell now, so I imagine this is going to be a battle that will last. Bad Boy is into the pits now. And he has gone onto the super soft, so he's going to be quick. He's back.
You were right, he has come out in front of Lennon.
Yeah, and he's well, I say only, he's 11 seconds behind Charge, but he's on 2 softer compound to Mark and a softer compound to Charge, so excuse the pun, but Bad Boy could be on the charge.
Carl will just overtake an Ox, just coming on the straight, so...
Or maybe he just got him back then, because he was ahead of him a second ago.
Yeah. We've got AMK back in the pits going on the super softs. But he had damage early, didn't he? So he had to pit early, so... Going for the 2-stop.
Certainly is. Right, you've got Napoli now closing up to the back of Henry, so Napoli looks pretty quick at the moment. He's on for some good points. But Bad Boy is bringing down that time. Not by too much, but it's worth keeping an eye on, because I think he could be there or thereabouts. And not forgetting that Charged has a 5-second penalty as well.
So second is on the horizon for Bad Boy if it can keep the tyres to the end.
Yeah. Yeah, worth pointing out as well that AMK is still in the race. He's having a good solid debut, just as onto the podiums just mentioned. Which is good to see, down in P11, but it's Division 1, he's going to be a Division 2 driver.
To be fair, points could still be in the offing because Spurge has still got to pit.
Well, there you go.
So...
You never know. And he's on super softs. Right, you've got Napler on the back of Henry now. Only a couple attempts back. But we're on board with the closest battle on track. Not too much happening, to be honest. I think there's been a bit of a problem with the lobby this evening.
I've noticed a couple of people mention lag, but I haven't seen that much personally, but I haven't seen that many cars close together on tracks, so...
No, I think there's I've just had a message from Fear, and he said that he's because obviously he was hosting the race this evening, and I think there's obviously been a bit of connection problems somewhere down the line, so I'm sure we'll hear a lot about that afterwards. But unfortunately, the guys asked for a change of host after last week, because I was obviously streaming as well as hosting the race. But Ox is in the pits
again.
That's weird, considering he pitted on lap whatever it was.
He did get a 5-second stop-go penalty for coming at the pits as well. So
yeah, Spurge is in as well, so it's worth keeping an eye on on AMK, see if he gets himself up into the points. Yeah, Bad Boy's on the charge, down to 7.5 seconds basically.
He did just have fastest lap as well, so he's giving it everything. Ooh. Everybody's running with similar fuel levels, besides Napla, who's got 3 laps worth of spare fuel.
Yeah, I was just looking at that a second ago, just as you mentioned it.
So at the moment, AMK is in a points per position, just in front of Spurge.
He certainly is.
So
And he's
it's a very
second
solid
behind
debut.
Ox. It certainly is. Be a good solid start for him. But we're staying on board with Napola because he's trying to get past Henry. He's not having much luck. What was you going to say, bud?
Right, to finish near the points in Div 1 is a very good showing when you're coming into Div 2. I mean, it can only do wonders for your confidence.
Exactly. So, and he's going to be, he's got big shoes to fill because obviously he's replacing Mark, who is second in the championship. Obviously Scuba is leading. But yeah, so he's got, certainly has got big shoes to fill.
Henry with a penalty and Napper up inside him at the same time.
Okay, that was a bad couple of seconds for Henry, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I mean 6th. I mean he's racking up the points this season. He's not doing anything stupid about it. He's just getting on with his way, really, which
He certainly is.
is how I try and race. But I seem to find trouble around every corner. But
just going on board with AMK because he's still within DRS range of Ox. So I'm just going to give him a little bit of airtime, see what he's like. Because other than that, it's only really Napoli and Henry, and Napoli's pulling away a bit now, albeit by fractions. But I think we'll be looking to go to Bad Boy soon because he's definitely put his foot down. It's just over 6 seconds now on a couple of laps, so he's taken out about 4 seconds in 2 or 3 laps.
I just went on board with Bad Boy and he was drifting it around the corners. So he's not leaving anything on the table, but it's going to be very hard to close that gap, I think.
Well, he's doing it slowly but surely, but
there's only 6 laps left.
yeah, but I mean he's taken more than a second a lap out of charge so far. So, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Mark has a 2 time penalties. So you never know what might happen here, and if Bad Boy can pull out a decent result, obviously touch wood unless something bad happens, he's on for a good result because he's been qualifying exceptionally well. So we're keeping everything crossed. But Mark's found a little bit of pace now. He's pulling away from charged. Couple of attempts per sector.
At the moment, Charge is running and lean around most of the corners, so I don't know if he's struggling with tyre wear or with going on the soft. The left-hander at turn 2 is sideways, which is what caught me out yet last night. Obviously he's more skilled than me, doesn't take much, but you know.
Yeah, but we're going to go on board with Bad Boy for the time being, just to see what he's what sort of pace he's bringing to the table. But we have got 5 laps to go, and he's got 5 seconds to pull. Do you want to check the penalties for the top 3? See where we're at, because we've hit quite a dull point in the race.
Yeah, I was just looking at the points table, and you've got Lennon in 4th place on points, and he's 4th place in this race, so
He's doing well.
he could be sneaking up on a couple of people. I mean, George Ellis is in front of him on points, and he's retired. Napler's behind him in the race, so... Right, I'll have a look at penalties.
Yeah, all Carwell getting close to Henry now. He's running a bit deep here through Maggotts and Beckett's. But he's still going to be in DRS range, got a bit of spare fuel as well.
So top 4, only Lennon has got a penalty, but obviously charged for his stop go. But everyone else is clean.
What was that, sorry buddy?
The top 4, Lennon's only one with a penalty.
Really?
Obviously charged got a stop go. Yeah.
Oh, sure, Mark had a couple of penalties.
And the strange thing is, Nakala's got a penalty, which I haven't seen all season.
No. I know Henry's got at least one, so I don't think he's got much to worry about. But Carwell needs to make this move on Henry soon. He's got 4 laps, so doesn't need to go silly with it. Yeah, just on board with Carwell. He does look quick, but Henry's showing some good pace, especially considering he's on the mediums. Well, I know Carwell is as well, but
I've had a quick look at AMK, and he's got no penalties either, so it's a very solid debut at the moment.
no penalties.
No? I mean, it's fairly easy to run wide around Silverstone, so...
Yeah, definitely so. Welcome, John. Just joined the stream. It's a shame he couldn't be racing tonight. He's someone with a lot of pace. Enjoy watching him race.
You would think he's going to be top 5 most races he attends.
Yeah, John's very, very
quick.
quick.
To be there.
Yeah, certainly all Carwell extending the track limits a bit there, but he's pushing, so you can't blame him. I'm intrigued to know if Carwell's on a wheel. I'm sure I will be informed soon. I think he is. Oh, he's on a pad, fair enough.
So, Bad Boy's at that 5-second window where charged with his penalties, so at this rate he's going to have second.
Well, even if Bad Boy gets within 5 seconds of him, and it doesn't actually display him second, obviously I'm sure it will be awarded to Bad Boy afterwards, because obviously we are aware that he's got the 5-second penalty. All Ox and Whopper Shop going at it. They're going through Maggotts and Beckett side by side. No, they're not. All contact. All Whopper Shop going back up the inside.
To be fair, Whopper Chop's had a nice clean race. He just stayed out of incidents and just got on with his own business, and he's going to get points again.
Yeah.
He showed this season he can get points.
Yeah, well, he had I think the first couple of races he came 6th and 5th, and
yeah,
I was only saying the other day, I mean, with all the respect in the world, I wasn't expecting him to be kind of that high up in the table. I was expecting him to be kind of challenging for points maybe in most races, but I mean, for him to do that, it certainly shows he's been putting in the practice, so you can only commend him for it. So you've still got...
Our resident expert says Bad Boy's on a wheel, so...
Oh, Bad Boy's on a wheel, fair enough. Oh, Carwell's got inside up of Henry. Yeah, he's got him. Nice move. I think it was inevitable. Henry won't give it up easily though. He's got Michael C's Ghost's car just behind, but with a couple of laps left, it is extremely hard to look past this man. Solid performance on his full-time debut in Division 1. Going to be excellent points for the McLaren drivers as well. They're going to be looking at 35 points. Sorry, 37 points should I say.
I think now when Mark said he's proved to himself that he can do it in Div 1, I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, Bad Boys. Was it Bad Boy or Cowboy sat at the back? I can't remember.
Car World.
So,
One of the red ones. You
I
load in
mean,
your colours. Well done.
yeah, I don't know. It's going to be one of them, isn't it? I mean, you would think Car World, if he's qualified, might have given him more of a challenge, but I mean, he's still got fast guys up there, so he's pulled away from them and shown what he can do.
Exactly. Well, if he well, he's pulled a second and a half to Henry already. So we know that Napola's got a time penalty. We also know that Lennon's got one. So if he can get up to the back of, bless you,
Bless you.
Pagani said bless you. If Pagani can, if Carwell can get up to the back of Napola, or within a second of Napola, I know it's a bit of a big ask, but if he can, he could find himself up in the P4, dependent on penalties. But yeah, Bad Boy's flirting around that 5 second window, so he needs to give it everything now.
I think his tyres are verging on death at the moment. He caught the 5 seconds and then he hasn't. He struggled to make an impact after. I don't know if Charged is up the gear again or
Possibly.
I'm not sure.
Charles is very low on fuel though. Well, then again, Bad Boy's not got much more, but even so, he's got a little bit of pace to burn.
Ooh, we're on the last lap.
Yeah, we certainly are. So we've got Mark just started Sector 2. Well, halfway through Sector 2, should I say. Come around. Fantastic performance from Mark and from Charged, and especially from Bad Boy as well. Car World is the biggest profiter tonight, up 13 places, so still a very good result for him. He's not going to get past Lennon, but dependent on penalties, he could jump Napola if he can get a couple of attempts back on his final lap. But not much else is going on, so we're going to watch Mark bring it home with a beautiful helicopter shot. Going through Stowe. AMK gets his first time penalty on the final lap, so still very, very good though, as Mark comes around the final corner to win his debut in Division 1. He's going to be chuffed to bits with that. Amazing performance from him. Dominated the race from start to finish. Charged as well. Really, really chuffed from him. Now,
I saw Bad Boy drifting and maggots, so he gave it everything, but he's dropped a 5.1 behind. So.
yeah, so there he's dropped significantly. Oxer's got a 3 second time point now, but it's not really going to affect him, I don't think. Lennon's going to bring the car home in 4th. Napola's only a second behind, but they stay as they are. So another really, really good performance from Lennon. He's certainly impressing me this season. Napola getting 10 points to add to his total, so he's going to have gained a couple of points on Car World, but he comes home 6th. Henry comes home in 7th, Ox as well. Just coming around Stowe to finish off his race, but AMK is going to get a point on his debut. So great job from him.
It's a fantastic debut for a driver that hasn't raced in the league before. It's
Exactly.
nice to see. It's nice to see new blood coming through.
It certainly is. Whopper Chops come around the final corner now. Another couple of points to add to his total. 20 points for the season. And AMK crosses the line to round off the points. So there we go. Who's your driver of the day today, buddy?
Not Spurge because he just crashed before the line. I think Car World's going to be up there with 13 places made up. But I'd like to say Charge personally.
Yeah, I think Bad Boy deserves a shout as well. He started 12th on the grid, finished 3rd, and he looked like he could have maybe even pushed on to 2nd place there, but there we go. Mark NUFC takes the win. No penalties. Started 1st. Amazing job from him. Charged got a 5 second stop go penalty. Other than that, he was pretty clean. Bad Boy comes home in 3rd place. Lennon in 4th. Another great performance from him. Napola in 5th place. Carwell in 6th. Henry in 7th. Ox disappointed from him today, down in P8. Whopper chopping 9th and ANK on his debut, coming home in 10th. And Spurge, the last of the runners, with Michael C, Fear, Catamise, and the rest of the guys. All retiring from the session. Can't remember the rest of them when it comes up with the real drivers' names. But thank you very much for joining me tonight, Pagani, mate. Really appreciate it.
No worries, pleasure.
Cool. So, okay, so on to the next one. So next week we are in Spain. We will have commentary from Fear and probably Catamise on Monday for Division 2. In which case it's all to play for now. Obviously Mark's moved up, so Scuba's the runaway leader as it stands. But come along and support myself and Pagani on Monday, and then I'll be back next Tuesday. Not too sure who with yet. But anyway, thank you very much everybody for watching, and we'll see you soon. Thank you very much.